Hello, today I want to share my physical symptoms. I'm going to categorize it as like a middle phase of spiritual awakening because that's true to me. So I'll insert the link to my video about the early symptoms up here, but my uh, symptoms that I experienced for this phase is like upper chakra activation and just tuning into my inner self through the work that I've done. So the first is the crown chakra. I have sensations at the top, little vibrations. The second is my third eye. So I know some people say it's between your eyebrows, but for me, it's between my eyebrows and move up a little bit to the middle of your forehead. I get like third eye pulses. So if you want to know what that feels like, just tap on your third eye. By the way, if you tap on your third eye, you are actively activating it. So just be mindful. So if you tap on it, that's pretty much what it feels like for me. Like, of course, a little softer because I'm not physically, the physical tapping isn't happening, but that pulsing is happening. And then here's my heart chakra. I have my heart chakra activates as well. It gets really physically warm, and with my claircognizant, my mind's eye, I am able to also like just see my heart expand. And so this upper chakra activation is what I would categorize as like phase 2, right? So now I'm beyond my early symptoms that I had shared, which were warm palm and the radio frequency ear, like ringing, and the heart palpitations. So looking back, I know that those were all just again my physical ascension to work through my spiritual awakening, but also just signs for me to know that I'm beginning my journey and know that I'm actively working towards awakening and doing all the inner work and intentionally trying to clear things from myself. I have, I would say, like unlocked, because that's fun for me to, like, you making progress, you unlocked something. I unlocked my upper chakras, and they are all just like slowly working to align themselves. I want to let you know that if you are experiencing these symptoms too, then you are on the right path. As you open like and activate your upper chakras, that basically means that you are connecting to the universe, to the one consciousness, to your higher self, to any like divine entity that you had set the intention to. So as well as your inner knowing, with all of this activating, it's like you're connecting to your intuition, to your really to yourself, and your body and all your layers, and that's really good. So be proud. Whenever you feel the crown chakra like sensations, just know that you're either receiving downloads. People say like channeling, right? You're channeling something, or you are connecting to something. And always, 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 if you are trying to do any of this intentionally, set the intention prior and use the words pure, light, anything that to you means like clear and divine. Um, don't, this is my, advice, but take it take it however you will. I believe that we all have the ability to connect to the divine. I really strongly encourage not trying to connect to anything else. Don't introduce and don't open any of those like portals, or just don't. It's not good for you. It's never going to be good for you. It's also not good for those around you. I know I will never do that, and I know that like I know what comes easy to me, and it comes easy to me to connect to like the most divine. It's once I made progress, I'm like, oh, it happens. And so please, I hope that as you are on this journey, that you remember to, invoke, say the prayer, set the intention, only to connect to the most divine and pure things. And that's what's gonna help you on your journey. So setting that aside, If you don't know what chakras are, I'll just quickly like name them for you. So the top is the crown chakra, and then as we know now, this is the third eye chakra, and this is your throat chakra. Then you have your heart chakra, you have your solar plexus chakra, your sacral chakra, and your root chakra. So a lot of our fears are stored in the lower chakras. I can probably dive into the chakras in a separate video. That was actually one of the first things I studied when I felt like my warm hands. When I felt my warm hands, I shared in that video. I'm a very curious person. So in short, the warm hands, and just everything that was happening, but mainly the warm hands led me to go study Reiki, and I'm Reiki certified. And that was the beginning of me actually learning to use my gifts and believing in myself based on the responses I was getting from people. It was very validating. And then I also wanting to understand like what Reiki healing is on a deeper level, and understand what I was feeling, like the sensations, right? It's all energy. So I studied a lot about energy and what it means, and that we're all energetic beings. And that led me to study the chakras. So, sorry, back to the lower chakras. So this is where a lot of the fear, pain, like let's say you have like family trauma or anything, it's all stored down here. I'm not saying that none of it could be stored, above, right? Like when you are going through, let's say, a heartbreak, like you feel the pain in your heart, like there's a part of your heart that has cracked and been hurt, but because you and your partner probably experienced things together that led to that heartbreak, right? And those things you experienced together are probably both of your fears, your inner wounds, your inner children trying to like be heard and things like that. All of that, like the reasoning, the behind the scenes of why, like what led you to your heartbreak, like the cause of that is like usually down here, especially the root chakra. That's where like the family trauma and upbringing is. And I don't want to say that everybody has trauma, because trauma is now too overly used, to be honest. But I also don't want to say there are people who don't understand what trauma is. Like trauma is to you what it is to you, right? Like we all interpret that word differently. So if you feel like you have these, memories or knee-jerk reactions, or I don't know, emotions or repetitive thoughts, like anything that has to do with your upbringing and family that makes you feel like not good, like only you know how you feel. So listen to your body, right? Like your body is telling you when you, like, I don't want to say positive and negative things, but there's that polarity. And it's easier for us as humans to label things. So if you're experiencing like negative emotions, sensations, through the memories and the emotions and just repetitive thinking, or around certain people that have to do with your upbringing and family, then like that is your lower chakras, and that's a sign for you to work through, to do the inner work of your inner child. I was going to say children because you have a lot of inner childs within you, but I'm not sure if like I think we should talk about that in a different video, because that itself is a big conversation, and I've gone through it. And so I really want to share with you all, the tips and how to help yourself, because I'm a healer, and if you were to work with me, yes, things would, I'm using heal with quotation marks, but things would move faster for you and heal faster for you. Like we will see results faster, but you can do the work by yourself too. And I really want to teach everyone to be self-sufficient. I think it's so important to know the power that you all hold within yourself. And it's just so important that you are aware that you like can't do everything for yourself. Doesn't mean you can't ask for help, but you can like really hold space for yourself to heal yourself. So I don't feel sensations in my lower chakras, but I definitely feel the side effects of all this, like in my life, right? Like, especially in my dating experiences. A lot of it is like all these upper chakras and my inner children around here is like coming out. Like work on this, work on this, work on this. And it's mirrored to me through my relationships, and I've worked through a lot of it. So one thing I want to share is, if you've heard the saying, your hips store energy, I think that's the saying, then work on physically opening up your hips. If you feel like you have a lot of energy, or all the things I shared earlier, like stuck, and you're ready to release it, work on opening your hips. I love yoga. I've always just naturally stretched a lot. I didn't grow up doing sports or anything. I just was flexible, and I love to stretch. And I never was committed to yoga until last year. And I did a yoga teacher training, and I'd love to share my experience, but just sharing that, it's very important that you physically move your body. Not even just like working on opening up your hips, right? To like help release and, move all that energy so that it like can be released. Like your whole body, like energy is stored, energy that's not good, or dormant energy, stagnant energy, things that you've processed but like still is stuck in your body. It's all over throughout your body, right? So it's very important to have and do physical movement, to like shake it up, to loosen it, and then to release it. So, but hip opening, I recommend to everyone. We all have, again, like I don't want to make assumptions, but I think we all have like upbringing trauma to our own definition, or experiences that like really caused us pain. And so it's very important to like try to clear all of these chakras, right? So that they can all be activated, all be aligned. And so work on your hip opening, stretch it out. And if you're not flexible, or you feel like it's hard to do that, that's okay. We all have different levels of flexibility and mobility. And even just a side note, I think it's so important that you work on those things, like for your own health. I care about you, and I want you to live long, and I want you to be able-bodied for a long time. So just work, start today, and make movement, and do a lot of stretches, because you may not be flexible today, but you can make a lot of progress in even a couple months of just like intentionally stretching, holding that stretch. Yeah, I hope this helps. If you experienced any of this, or if you have questions, let me know. I want this channel to be like a friendship. I love friendships, good friendships, but I don't want this to be where I'm just sitting and talking to you all. I want it to be a space where we can have discussions and ask questions and learn from one another. If there's anything you experienced, or that I even shared that I experienced and information about, like, share with me, teach me. I love to learn. So I hope you're doing well, and I hope that whatever you're going through, that you intentionally stay on the bright and light side.